This is Walker Hayes. He's the guy who dances alongside his teenage daughter as he sings about being fancy.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's.
But this is also Walker Hayes. He's the guy who writes deeply personal songs about love, losses, the hardships of parenting, and the guilt and anger that come with watching your heroes fall.
We did not see him in pain. I was next to him, singing with him when he died.
Which one is the real Walker Hayes? It's cliche to say both, but both. You see, a guy on the front edge of contemporary country music can also be well versed in legends like Hank Williams Jr. and Don Williams. The fancy light guy can also break your heart. Lord knows he's had his heart broken. Since 2017, so much has been written about the singer's many ups and downs, and he's been beyond generous with the details and his time to discuss these personal and professional setbacks. Life in 2021 seemed to really turn around for Hayes, his wife Lainey, and their 6 kids. And professionally, it did. Personally, the sun only rose after a dark, dark winter.
You know what? When we just got nominated for a Grammy, and I told my wife, but on the drive home, I was really sad because I wanted to tell my dad.
I'm Addison Hager, and Walker Hayes might be country music's first truly successful TikTok star. Sure, he had a hit with You Broke Up With Me 4 years ago.
But hey, you broke up with me.
And yeah, other singers have caught our attention on social media, but have any wrote that to a #1 country airplay hit and the best-selling song of the year?
Because, man, I'm such a fan of, get 'em, man. I'm talking about turn that song on and get 'em with that first line. And, don't mess around with all this, intro stuff. Just pop them in the face. That's why I love Fancy is it's literally, my girl is banging.
Yeah.
Okay,
Banging.
I want to hear about your girl.
Yeah.
The Grammy nomination was a cherry on top, albeit a bitter cherry. Last March, Walker's father, Charles Hayes, died after battles with both Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. The Alabama-born and raised singer says he and his family are still working through it all. It hasn't been easy.
I felt some guilt. I wish I had spent more time with my dad, because I left. I went to Nashville, and so, but then at the same time, Lainey reminds me that my dad was my biggest fan. So, he wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
Charles was not only Walker's biggest fan, he was tremendously influential on his life, work ethic, determination, and influences. Hayes is 42, which means he grew up in a time when Coolio was what the cool kids in high school were playing. But he was also drawn to the legends. We didn't test him on it, but he says he can just about sing Don Williams' entire catalog. On Country Stuff the album, he tributes another of his favorites growing up, Hank Williams Jr. on drinking songs.
Say give me that bourbon and both seafoods. I can't help it, so help me Jesus.
One of my favorite songs growing up was Fax Me a Beer, which I don't even know. That's kind of one of his deeper cuts.
Charles was also a very big part of Walker's songwriting. Several years ago, he dropped a song on the 8 Tracks Volume 3 EP called Dad's Sailboat that first revealed clues that Dad's time was short. The same project also includes a song called Love/Hate that's written to his hometown of Mobile, but includes this dagger in the second verse.
Which is weird, cause all my lyrics got a lot of you and Dad in them.
On Country Stuff the album, Hayes' second studio album released in January, there's a song called Briefcase. It's so much more than just a tribute to a father. As you'll soon hear, it's also a note to the singer's own children as he learns what his father always knew. Now I get it, Dad. It's a juggling act between feeding the kids and feeding the dreams we chase.
I guess a guitar doesn't fall too far from the briefcase.
Saying I love you, to him, it's just weird, and I think that's probably most sons and dads. I don't know if that's a generational thing, but, my dad and I rarely looked at each other and said, man, I love you, and just let it marinate, there for a minute. And so to me, that's what that song was. It's obviously it's dark too. It's kind of an I'm mad at you for some childhood stuff. But I get it now, and I'm proud anytime somebody says I'm like you. To me, that's what the song says in a nutshell. But Man, it's also a song to my kids. Like, it's kind of an apology. Like, yeah, I have an affair with my job. I love my job, and I hope they do too one day. And I hope they'll understand and forgive me for how hard it is to juggle it all, as a man.
If you can relate to Walker's song or story, let him know how with a comment below, or just share a simple thumbs up. The full interview with Walker is available on the Taste of Country Nights on Demand podcast. It's about 20 minutes long, and it's not all this heavy. I dropped the links in the description section, but there's some really fun moments like this.
Keith Whitley, that was a big old makeout song growing up. Man, was when you say nothing at all. When you say nothing at all, and man, if you wanted to mac in the back seat, baby, turn that on.
Take care of what you wish, but I say be more. Care for what you don't wish for.
That's a song called What You Don't Wish For from Walker's new album, and to hear that song you'd peg him as an undying optimist. So it's surprising to hear that his first response to his father's death was anger. In fact, that's what really lingered until Lainey was able to get through to him and get him focused on the gifts his father left behind. His dad's death was not a surprise to the family, which meant Walker could be there in a big way.
God was merciful. I mean, we did not see him in pain. I was next to him singing with him when he died. He stopped breathing, and I was sitting next to him with a guitar. And it sounds dark and morbid and weird, but it was honestly one of the most beautiful moments of my entire life.
Special thanks to Walker for speaking to us so candidly about something that's clearly very fresh on his emotions. I'm Addison Hager, and before I split, I want to ask you to subscribe for more in-depth interview coverage from country music's greatest storytellers. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and look for the full Walker Hayes interview at Taste of Country Nights on Demand podcast, available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Links to that and all songs you heard here are available in the comment section. I'm Addison Hager for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching.